that database management system is acting as a table or a relation or it consists of rows and columns, then we can say that as a RDBMS or a relational database management system. It is allowing multiple number of users to access the same content at the same time. Then we are calling that as what? Concurrency. You are supposed to answer either A or B, not both. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. Welcome to the very first session, that is what introductory class of B.Ca.'s third semester, subject called Database Management System. In short, it is DBMS. I'm Rohini TS, Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. So in our today's session, that's all regarding introduction to this subject, that is what? DBMS or Database Management System. So we'll see the agenda of our today's session. So as you all can see here, I'm going to discuss regarding what are the prerequisites, what you must know before starting off this subject, and also you will be getting know regarding learning outcome. After the successful completion of this course or this subject, what are the learning outcome that you can expect from DBMS, and also I will be discussing how many number of units we have and what is the syllabus of each unit, and also I'm discussing regarding FA or internal, that is formative assessment, and also I will be discussing regarding how will be the exam pattern, and at last I will be discussing do we have a LAF rate, if yes then how the marks distribution, how many number of activities we have, which are those, everything that I am going to discuss. Along with that I will let you know what is the textbook or a reference book that you need to study for this subject. Let me go with the first part, that is prerequisites. So prerequisites are nothing but what? What is the thing that you know before getting into the subject. So when it comes to the DBMS or a database management system, here you need to understand what programming, and moreover you must be able to do the conceptualization. So if you are saying tables and it consists of number of rows, columns, and it has that kind of data, this kind of data, moreover you need to be very conceptualized thinking should be there in you, and then you must understand or you need to analyze what kind of problem it is. Other than that, only the basics regarding what is data, what is information, why do we require analysis, organization of data. So only the small thing or a fundamental related things of data and its database is required. That's all regarding what prerequisites. Then what is the learning outcome? So what you can expect at the end of the course of this particular subject. At that time, you will be able to explain the various database concepts and the need for the database system. So here, after understanding or after learning the subject, you will be able to understand or to explain various database concepts. What is data? What is information? What is database? What is database management? What are the different fundamental things we have? Everything that you are going to understand, and then you will be able to identify and define the database objects. Along with that, you will be able to enforce the integrity constraints on a database by making use of DBMS. Database is different, database management system is different. The DBMS will going to help us in order to manage the database, right? So this will going to be the superior one. And also, you will be able to demonstrate a data model. What are the different data model we have? And then what do you mean by schema in RDBMS? This is DBMS, Database Management System. When that database management system is acting as a table or a relation or it consists of rows and columns, then we can say that as a RDBMS or a relational database management system. And then you will be able to identify the entities and the relationship, and you will be able to draw a ER diagram, that is entity relationship diagram, for a given real world problem. That can be what? Bank management system, college system, university system, whatever it could be, real world problem, anything it can be. So you will be able to write the ER diagram. So there you are going to learn what are the different shapes or symbols that we are going to use in order to represent each object of a real world. And also you will be able to convert that ER diagram to database schema and reduce it to the desired normal form. There should not be any confusions. The data needs to be purified. In order to have that, we have a normal form here, and also formulate queries in relational algebra and structured query language, that is SQL, for database manipulation. So along with this database and DBMS, you will be able to understand or to explain the concept with respect to the SQL. How we are going to communicate to a computer by having a set of instruction. If I wanted to communicate to the database, then you have to use a query language called SQL or a structured query language. And also we'll be able to explain the transaction processing and concurrency control techniques. So these are the things which you're going to understand by learning or by the end of this course or a subject. Fine. That's all regarding learning outcome. So as you all know that totally it consists of 3 units and each unit consists of 2 chapters. Fine. So here you can see that in the unit 1 we have a database architecture as a chapter 1 and ER model as a chapter 2. So in the first chapter, database architecture, there you are going to understand the fundamental concepts regarding this database, introduction to database system and its application, where and all can we use this database and what is its characteristics and its purpose of having this database approach, and who are all responsible in order to work with this database system, who are all require. We require a database analyst and also we require a designer, programmer, so tester and database administrator, DBA in short. So those are the people, they are going to be associated with this database system, and also you will be learning what are the different data models we have, and also database schema, that is what representation of a database, that is database schema, and also you will be learning regarding a database architecture, then data independence. So if you are doing some construction work in the first floor, that should not affect the content of second floor in a building. That is what data independence. If I am doing some changes to the first level, that should not changes or to do the modification of second layer. That is what you are going to learn in the data independence, and also database languages. So we have a DML, DCL, TCL. Okay. So those are the different database languages we have that you are going to learn in this first chapter, along with what are the interfaces and classification of DBMS. This is what will be the content of your first chapter. Let me move to the second chapter. That's all regarding ER model, entity relationship model. In this ER model concept, there you are going to understand what is an entity. An entity can be anything, that can be real world object that you are going to learn, and its types along with a entity set and what do you mean by an attribute. So which has some property, then we are calling that as an attribute. Then what are the different types of attributes we have? What do you mean by key attribute, and what is domain of an attribute, and also what is the relationship between the entities, different entity, how one entity is related to another entity. If I consider this board as an entity and this pen as an entity, what is the relationship between these two entities? That is what you will be learning here. And then relationship types and its role and structural constraint, and also you will be learning regarding degree and cardinality ratio of a relationship along with the weak entity types. At last you will be learning ER diagram, how to write an ER diagram, what are the different shapes or a symbol that we are going to use, and what is its significance. That and all you will be learning at the last point or the last concept of this chapter 2 in the unit 1. That's fine. Let me move to the unit 2. So in this unit 2, again it is of 2 chapters. One is relational data model and another one is relational algebra. In the relational data model, you are going to understand some of the relational model concepts along with its characteristics of relation and relational model constraints. So we have a different constraint, that is what domain constraint, key constraint, primary and foreign key constraint along with the integrity constraint, and you will be understanding regarding what is null value. Okay, that is first chapter of unit 2. And in the relational algebra, that is second chapter in your unit 2, there you will be understanding basic relational algebraic operation. So what are the basic relational algebraic operation we have? That and all you will be learning along with the example, and also set theoretical operation. So it can be what union, union, all, intersect, that and all you will be learning on the tables or on the relations, and also you will be learning regarding join operation. Very, very important all these are. So join operation, that can be of what? Inner join, outer join, self join. So we have a different types of join operation that you will be learning here, along with the aggregate functions. There we have sum, minimum, maximum, average. So those are the different aggregate function we have that, and also you will be learning along with grouping and nested subqueries. Then we are calling that as a views. What is view? What is its advantage, disadvantage? How we are going to create a view? Everything that you will be learning in this chapter. That's all regarding what? Unit 2. We'll see the last unit. So in this also, again we have two chapters here. First one is what? Data normalization and query processing transaction management. So in the data normalization, purification of data is very important. So there should not be any confusions. There should not be any anomalies. In order to remove that, we have a normalization concept that you will be understanding in the chapter 1 of unit 3. That is what? Anomalies in a relational database design. That can be insert anomalies, relate anomalies, and update anomalies. So there are 3 kinds of anomalies with there that also you will be learning. And also decomposition. You should not consider a table as a whole thing. That should be divided or decomposed into subtables to make it easy. And also functional dependence. There you are going to understand axioms, minima, and then maxima cover. Along with that, you will be understanding what is normalization, what is its use. Under that, we have a 4 types. First normal form or 1NF, 2NF or a second normal form, 3NF or a third normal form, and BCNF, that is Boyce Codd normal form. This and all you will be understanding in the chapter 1 of your unit 3. What about this chapter 2 of unit 3? There, query processing transaction management. So here mainly it will be an introduction to the transaction processing. What and all you are using online, what booking of movie tickets, booking of shows, booking or doing any of the reservation. So that is all you are doing. Transaction that should be completely successful. The transaction should be completed or the transaction should not get initialized, but it should not stuck in between. That is what introduction to transaction processing. And also you will be understanding regarding single and multi-user system. And then what is transaction? Under that they are concentrating on the read and write operation. And also you will be understanding need of concurrency control. For example, what do you mean by concurrent or concurrency execution? For example, even I am also trying to book for a same movie at the same time at the same theater. You are also looking to book the same kind of ticket in a same show with the same theater. Will that Book My Show app will going to say no for me or no to you? That means someone is booking a tickets, hold on it. No, right? It is allowing multiple number of users to access the same content at the same time. Then we are calling that as what? Concurrency. At that time, there should not be any mistakes happen. In order to do that, we have a concurrency control here. That can be lost update problem and dirty read problem. So that and all will going to help us in order to have this concurrency control. And then you will be understanding what are the different types of failures we have in a transaction and what are the different transaction states we have. There we have a active states and also we have a fail state, abort state. So that and all you will be understanding here. And desirable properties. So acid property, very, very important of the transaction. So all these are the very important and very interactive and interesting too. So that and all you will be learning in all the 3 units of your database management system. I hope you all understood regarding the number of units as well as syllabus. Let me move to the next part. That's all regarding what? Internals. So totally you all know that this subject is for what? 100 marks, isn't it? You need to get 100 on 100. Then how you are supposed to work on this in order to get 100 on 100? First you need to attend the internals which is conducted in your college level. So that internals is for 40 marks. There will be 2 internals, internals 1 and internals 2, and both are mandatory. You need to attend both the internals. Fine. And then what about the question paper pattern? How will be your examination? So as you all know that this is for 60 marks. Fine. So this theory paper is for 60 marks and you are going to get 40 marks in your FARA internals or a formative assessment. Then how the 60 marks will going to be distributed? Totally you are going to have only 4 questions in your question paper. So that is what? Part A and Part B. So in the Part A, so there will be 3 questions. You need to answer all the 3 questions. Each question carries 15 marks. So 15 into 3 will be 45 I will explain each part one by one in coming slide. As of now, you just need to understand how will be the marks distribution. Okay. Then in the part B, so there will be 5 questions. Out of that 5 questions, you need to answer any 3. So 3 into 5 will be 15. Each question carries 5 marks. Out of 5 questions, you need to answer any 3. So 5 3s are 15. So 45 plus 15, totally it is of 16 marks. Okay. Let me explain the pattern, how your question paper look like and how you are supposed to answer for it. So when it comes to the part A, as I told earlier, totally it consists of only 3 questions. Okay. And in each question, there will be 2 sub-questions. Or okay, let me consider this as A, this as B. Same thing will going to apply for second and third question. So, in the first question, there will be 2 sub-questions called A and B. In A, again, there will be 2 sub-questions, 1 and 2. And in B also, there will be 2 sub-questions. The questions will be like this. You are supposed to answer either A or B, not both. Or if you are trying to get 15 marks and if you had written answer for first sub-question of A in the first question and second sub-question of B in the first question, then if you are asking for 15 marks, then it is not possible. You need to answer both the sub-question from A or from B. Okay, then only we will be able to get the marks. Then that marks distribution can be 9 plus 6 or it can be 8 plus 7 or 10 plus 5. Okay, however could be the marks distribution of 15. Out of that, you need to answer either A completely or B completely. Then only you can expect 15 marks in each question. Same thing will going to apply for question number 2, question number 3. Okay, so all the questions will be from all the 3 units. This is part A, 1, 2, 3. And next we have a part B. Part B, the question number is 4 only. So totally it will going to have 5 questions. Out of this 5 questions, you need to answer any 3. Okay, so each question carries 5 marks, then 5 3s are 15. So totally you are going to get 15 marks from this part B and this 45 marks from part A. So if we combine together, then it will going to give you 60 marks from your main SST examination. Fine. So this is how the examination pattern will be there for your NEP. Next, what we have, it's all regarding lab. Do we have a lab for this subject or a database management? Yes, we have. Then what is the lab name? That is Dbms lab or a database management systems lab. So course code is CAC07P. And if you consider the theoretical aspect, that is CAC07. If it is practical, P will be included. And for theoretical aspect, that include 3 credits. For lab, it is of 2 credits here. So the course credits are 2 and the course hour per week required is 4, and for your examination it requires 3 hours. And how will be the marks distribution? This lab will be for 50 marks. So internals will be there, that is FA or a formative assessment, that is for 25 marks, and main examination will be for another 25 marks. By integrate both of that, you are going to get 50 marks from your lab. So theory is for 100 marks, lab is for 50 marks. Theory is for 3 credits and lab is for 2 credits. So for your theory examination, you are going to get 2.5 hours. For your lab examination, you will be getting 3 hours. This is how your examination pattern of theoretical paper as well as your practical paper. Then how will be the marks distribution of that 25? That you can see here. Totally you are going to have 8 activities in this DBMS lab. So out of that, you are going to get any 2 programs in your main examination. If you are able to write that 2 programs, then that is for 10 marks. And if you are able to execute any one of the program of that particular activity, then that is for another 10 marks. Then you have to maintain a record that will be for 3 marks. And if you are answering a Viva question, then you are going to get 2 marks. Totally it is of 5 marks. So if I add all these, then it will be for total 25. Same pattern will going to apply for your FA or a formative assessment of a lab examination as well as main lab examination. This is how your lab examination scheme or a evaluation scheme look like. I hope you all understood regarding this lab and theoretical aspects. It's all regarding what? Theoretical and practical aspect. Next, here we have a books for reference as per the NEP syllabus. So here we have a list of books of this database management system. Out of this, you can refer and you can use any one of the textbooks in order to get the content as per the prescribed syllabus. I hope you all understood our today's session. I hope you all enjoyed and understood the concepts of this database management system introductory class. Let me meet you with a syllabus of this first unit in the database management system in my coming session. Until that, keep learning, keep on growing. Thank you.